Hey friends, welcome to my video. In this video, you'll see how to create your own custom keyboard, which will be applicable for your in-app keyboard for your Android app. So let's begin. Let's create a new project. Click next. You can name it anything. Probably you can say my custom keyboard app and click finish. Wait for the environment to load. It may take a while to load the environment. Once the environment loads up, what I'll also do is I'll start my emulator in parallel on the right hand side. So let it come up. Okay, and first and foremost we'll add or we'll create our layout, the keyboard layout. So for that, what I'll do is I'll go to this layout, right click, new layout resource. You can name this layout anything. So I'll say keyboard underscore custom. Make sure all the letters are small here, capital letters are not accepted. You can probably I'll use the linear layout, but okay, let me first click OK and let the layout get created, and then I'll change it from constraint to linear layout in a very simple way. So just right click over here, and probably what I can do it is refactor or convert view, and I can choose this linear layout. For the other one, for the main layout, I'll still use the constraint, but here I'll use the linear layout. Perfect. So once this is done, then we can start. I'll just minimize the emulator on the right hand side. I don't need it right now. So perfect, it looks now good. We can go ahead and do our we can add the buttons one by one in this linear layout. But wait, before I do this, I'll do one thing. Okay, let me first create a merge, not linear layout. Linear layout will be, of course, will be using linear layout, but I will convert this view as a merge layout first. So let me do this. Yeah, because merge will help me to ensure that the layout, when we are inflating it in the main layout, it's merged, or all the pop-ups are merged one by one. Yeah, anyway, and what I will do is I'll use this one, linear layout vertical, and add over here. Yeah, like this it should come. So below merge, yeah, linear layout, and in this linear layout then I can add one by one other horizontal layout. So add to design, and probably I can add one more. No, I didn't want to add under this. I want to add that over there. Not so why it's not coming that way. I think that's correct. In fact, I wanted to add. Yeah. Okay. So probably I'll add one more. But I can do one thing. If it's Let's start adding buttons first. So first I'll do one thing. I'll add few buttons here. Perfect. One, probably two, three. Three buttons here. Three buttons in the next one. One, two. I can see these things are not overlapping probably. Let me see, there is some error also. So it's saying rendered problem. Let me refresh and see what happens here. Okay, so those things are gone. Perfect, fine. However, both are overlapping, and the reason for that is most likely okay, so he also have done match parent, that's fine. Hide could be wrap content, and yeah, so now it's coming one by one, and match parent width could be fine. Hide could be wrap content, and for this linear layout also hide could be wrap content, so that one by one, yeah, this will come like this. Okay, we can add more buttons and more layouts, because I think what I'll do is I'll give them some numbers. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. Then what else can I do is, okay, let me do one thing, control C, control V. No, I didn't want to put it somewhere down here, I wanted to put it somewhere up here. So like this, and no, I don't think copying pasting is a good idea. I'll do one thing, I'll leave it like this, and I'll add a new layout, but yeah, okay, and then I'll go here again, linear layout, horizontal, of course, bring it here. I think I'll bring one more time, that's it, and then I think I'll be done. Then linear layout, yeah, and in these buttons again I'll add buttons, say for example 1 2 3, and same I'll do over here 1 2, Not sure why it's not adding up. Okay, three, yeah, and they also I think I should add few more buttons. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. So I have a layout of buttons and all that looks good. In this case also I can just change the this one to wrap content and layout with to wrap content. Perfect. Now let me start working on one by one on each and every button. So here the ID of this button I can give it is probably B1. I can change it, no problem. Refactor text of the button will be 1. I'll just put numbers over here. The next will be B2. Refactor text will be 2. So this is a little bit of monotonous task. I'll just keep doing for next few seconds. You can fast forward the video if you don't want to see this. So yeah, this will be 4. But if you want to really see, if you're still there in the video, so yeah, this we could have done in a programmatic way as well. But if it's few buttons, I prefer to do it manually, and it's sometimes okay and easy to do it like this. So I think more or less once we are done this, it will be done. Our layout will be ready, the keyboard layout. So here what I'll be doing it is the resource must start with a letter, of course. So B8 is what I want. I intended. Text can be a number, of course, but yeah. And this could be B9 and this could be 9. Place three numbers, probably I'll put some alphabets as well. I could have put 0 also, but yeah, let me play with probably the A, and here I'll put A. So I'll just like to show you the combination of letters and uh, numbers. Yeah, and we can of course make it uh, for any kind of strings, whatever we want in this. So I'm just taking examples of this quickly. This 12. So yeah, this 12 buttons. So that's all I guess from here in terms of layout. So once my this layout is complete, now next step is to create a Java class to inflate this, which we can use to inflate this particular layout. So I'll just create a new Java class. You can name this anything. I can name keyboard custom Java. You can use capital letters here, but not for the layout. For some reasons they don't allow. Okay, now here what I can do is I can extend this class for linear layout, what we have used in our linear layout, and also it implements view on click listener. Perfect. Okay, and now it will ask me to insert some of the implement some of the methods. Yeah, on click method, this will be a important method which will be required, and I think it may also ask me to put constructors. Yeah, try to put all the constructors. You never know which constructor will match. By the way, I know it is most likely this constructor which signature will match, but yeah, it's better to go with all the constructors over here. Okay, now we'll define few of the class variables quickly first over here. So one of the class variable will be input connection. So this will be the one which will be responsible to transfer any data to and fro or in this particular class from the main Java class. Okay. Other thing will be of course the okay, this will be of course also private, and buttons. We have created lots of buttons, right? So I'll create a one variable for each button locally. So button 1 2 I think it was up to 9, and then A B C, so around 12 is what I need. So I'll just do one thing, control C, control V, 2 3 4 5 6 7. Yeah, and now quickly I'll change one by one. This 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 A B C. Perfect. So I have around one button for each of these. And now in the constructor we have to initialize this button or associate these buttons with the respective widget in the layout. So what we can do it is, but since there are 4 constructors, so what I'll do is I'll create another class, another method here called probably what, private. This will also be a private method, private, and void, it won't do anything. And initialization, you can name this method anything, again it doesn't matter. Initialization, and the only input it will take is context, because that's what we'll need to inflate the layout. So first and foremost, what we'll do is we'll first inflate the layout. So layout inflator is what we can use, and this inflate from context, whatever we get pass over here, and then inflate, and then we can give the layout to be inflated here. So r.layout.keyboard custom. Perfect. And this should be attached to this, and true. Perfect. So once we have done the inflation, I think the spelling is wrong, so we can just create initialization. Perfect. And okay, before I go ahead, I will do one thing. I'll just add this code or call this method from each of this constructor context. Although it's not, it may not be required, but yeah, it's always better to do that. And initialization, and initialization. Yeah. So this will make so whenever this any of the constructors are called, this particular method is called, where we initialize all these buttons what we are organizing above. So one by one we can call this button. So say for button 1, find view by id r.id dot b1 b1. Perfect. So similarly we will have to do for control C, control V for all 2 3 4 5 7 9 10 11 12. So let's do it one by one. So this will be for button 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Yeah, and similarly change this as well. So this will be C, this will be, this will be A, this will be what, 9 8 7 6 5 4 3. This is again some monotonous thing, but yeah, we have to do it for each and every button when you're building your own keyboard. Once done, we will have to add a listener to all these buttons, which what we can do is we can just add button 1 that set on click listener, and to this particular method it can be set. So control C, control V, 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. So what will happen is, because of this method, whenever this is clicked, it will come to this particular class, and there is an on click method, right? It will come over here. It will override for all the buttons whatever we have defined in our linear layout. So that's the beauty of yeah, in one go we can do for all. So A, B, C. Now what we can do it is, in this on click method we can extract the text of the button which is being pressed and pass it on as a value to the input connection what we have just above defined. So first we'll create a local variable called string value, and what we can do it is we can get the view in the button form. So okay, let me do one thing, button view and get text to string. So this will get the text of that button, and once it's there, then what we can do is we can set it in the input connection dot commit text, and the text will be of course the text what we just not defined, string value, and what else is required. I think that's in which you can put as 1. That's fine. Yeah, so I think that's all. Yeah, one more thing I will have to set quickly the for the input connection. Yeah, public void set input connection over here, and input connection perfect. So this input connection should be equal to input connection. So yeah, don't get confused, these two are two different videos. This is from the class and this is from this particular local method. So I can also do one thing, I can just add it here as like a local like this, so that will not get any confusion between those two variables. Okay, so that's all I guess. One more thing quickly, what we can do it is we can, in this method we can just quickly check if uh, input connection is null, which is not set yet. Then what it should do is it should just return from here. It should not proceed because no point trying to set in line number 89 if it's still null, and then it will give all sorts of exceptions it will throw. So I think that's all. This class is ready now, and we can use this particular class in our main files now, in the main Java file and in the main XML file. Here text view I don't need, I am going to remove it, that's fine, and I'll just put one plain text over here. And what else I can do is in plain text I will, this is a constraint layout, so I think it should be fine. Constrained I don't need anything here, and I don't need any text also, but I'll give some hints over here. Probably test the keyboard here, so it will be a grayed out yeah, this kind of thing, that's fine. And now what else can I do it is I can yeah, in this also I will have to put my keyboard, right, the one which we have just defined. Yeah, so it's not coming up. I'm expecting it to come here. Let me do one thing, let me just quickly stop and try to refresh. No, I think it's a small key, or am I doing some, yeah, anyway, yeah, I think I triggered the emulator on the top, but that's fine. Yeah, okay. So yeah, sometimes it takes time, you may have to refresh and all, but this is what I was expecting. So just add it here, and so that it comes like this. But yeah, one thing what we have to do is we have to drag it to the bottom. So for that there must be some parameter for that. So let me just quickly see, align uh, okay, I'm trying to align it to the bottom, but I can't find any such things. Okay, I think that's in the relative layout. So let me do one thing, let me quickly change this from constraint to relative layout. That may also be one of the options. So click apply, and that should be fine. Now if I come here and if I try to look for align parent top, yeah, parent bottom, this is what I was looking for. So if I make it true, most likely it should go in the bottom of the parent. If it's still not going, most likely what I should do is come here. Yeah, height should be wrap content. Perfect. So this is what I wanted, and edit text is okay, it can be like that. In fact, here also, yeah, so it looks good here, and edit text can be of course like this. So yeah, all my keyboard, all the things will come at the bottom. So now let's me quickly go to my, no, before that what I'll also do it is I'll give this some ID. So keyboard custom, so that I can access it from my Java code. For editText also I think there should be some ID, there is already an ID. I'll just modify it to perfect. Now in my Java code what I'll do is I'll quickly create the local variable for both of these widgets. So find view by ID r.id dot text. So I'm not sure, I modified this, right, there wasn't any edit text. So I'm not sure why it's still showing twice that edit text. Okay, again here I may have to, if I refresh, compilation error. Let me do one thing, let me quickly rerun it. Sometimes rerunning or recompiling the code, I think I could have done this also just to build it, make the project, but yeah, this I find it sometimes much better. Okay, so in terms of layout at least it's working fine, but nothing will happen right now because we have not added the logic. So let me quickly finish it up, and yes, so now it looks good. Edit text, that's what I was looking for. I can still minimize my layout, my emulator on the right hand side, and what I can do it is in this edit text first and foremost I can set the this soft input. So soft input on focus, this should be false, otherwise the default the inbuilt keyboard will come up. Then I have to set the input method here. So edit text set raw input type, and this will be nothing but input type dot, this will be of type class, you can say text. Yeah, this will be fine. And then I think we are done with the edit text here. So now what we can do is we can use the create an input connection which will connect between my this one input connection edit text dot on create input connection, and we can just create new whatever edit editor info. Perfect. Now the other widget could be keyboard, this one, and find view by id r.id dot, I think we created a class variable id, right? Keyboard custom. And in this keyboard custom, what we can do is, yeah, we can set input connection and whatever we have created just now above. So this will call the respective class, this class with this input connection which is associated with the this edit text type. So let's now rebuild or restart the app, and this time it should work is what I hope. Perfect. So app has come up, and if I press anything A B C blah blah whatever, so it's coming up on this edit text. I can keep typing. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to show how, yeah, it's a little bit of tricky because you have to create another class and connect it, but once you get a hold of it, it's pretty much straightforward. So steps I'll just re-summarize very quickly. You have to create your own layout. It could be any layout, like yeah, it need not be linear, but yeah, linear helped me to organize the buttons nicely, so that's why I used it. And once you have your layout created, it's like any other layout where you can put buttons or whatever you want to do. Then you have to create your own class for keyboard. This is a bit tricky here, where you have to implement, yeah, you have to initialize all these buttons whatever you created after inflating that layout, and then set the respective on click method where you extract the text or the functionality. Main functionality will go in this particular method, and then you can just use the input connection method to pass on the value to your main Java class where it gets connected over here. So that's all. I wanted to show you how easy it is to create your own custom keyboard in your app. And I hope this video is useful to you. If you have any questions or suggestions, then please put in the comment section below. If you like this video, then please subscribe.